Well, the time has finally come. We're going to do the Toyota versus the GMC total overview, which one I think is better. I'm going to go category by category. You can decide for yourself which category is important to you, but let's go ahead and get straight into it. So on the front end, let's start with the GMC. For me personally, between the two, I like the GMC better as far as just a stock for stock. This has really nice design lines, really kind of sharp. The Toyota is a little bit more aerodynamic looking. Now, if you're going to level it or lift it on 35s, I think Toyota, hands down. This looks so much beefier when you have some larger tires on it. This GMC has got 33s on it. It's not quite big enough to really count towards that. But if I was going to go bigger, Tundra all day, every day, looks-wise, that takes the cake. Now, between the two of them, this has the 5.3 liter V8. This has a twin-turbo V6. As far as miles per gallon goes, this truck is getting about 20-21 miles per gallon on the highway. This is getting 18-ish, plus or minus, depending. Now, if you want to know which one's faster, 100% it's the Tundra. The Tundra's twin turbos are so much faster than this V8. Now, the offset on that is sound. V8 sounds like a solid V8. This has twin turbo sounds. If you put a cold air intake on either one, they're both going to make them sound better. I have one on this GMC, makes that V8 really rumble. You hear it, it's really fun to drive. If you did the same thing to the Tundra, you're going to have the same effect but with turbos. So that comes down to whether or not you want V8 sounds or turbo sounds. And the turbo sounds can get really loud with the Tundra if you go big with a cold air intake, so that is totally up to you. Now let's talk about performance things on the front end as far as headlights goes and headlight brightness. They're both super bright. They both have these HID LED headlights. You're not going to have an issue with lighting. They both have fog lights. The Tundra does have these really small little lights, and they're pretty bright, but the benefit is that these are really interchangeable with like a Rigid Industries Baja design setup, which is super cool right there. Let's go keep taking steps back. So we've already covered motor, miles per gallon, which one's faster. Now wheels and tires. This actually came with 20s, just like this Tundra did. These are both similar packages. This is the Elevation SR5. These are on point with what trim level each other are. Should have said that at the beginning. So they both come with 20s just like this. So about the same. It's very minor design differences between the two of them. Coming down the side, nothing crazy here. So with all that being said, we talked about the performance and kind of the fun aspects of it, but let's talk about interiors, comfort, what you're really getting on your daily drive beyond the power and the sound. Let's talk about what the creature comforts are. Let's start with the GMC, and then we'll go into the Tundra. So both trucks have keyless entry. I have the keys for both in my pocket. GMC is a button press, and the doors will unlock. Hopping inside. If you saw my last video, some of this will be a repeat. I did a total in-depth review of the GMC and what you kind of get. But you have steering wheel controls. I'm not turning this on because this will hook up to my Bluetooth. Just gonna mess with the video. But you have plenty of infotainment. A little bit of information on your center dash here. So a big difference is this truck has seat heaters in the Elevation package. Dual climate control. This does not have a center console, which is a downside of this truck. But overall, really clean, easy surfaces to clean, which you'll hear me note here in a minute. But all this just gets dusty. You can wipe it off with your hand, and then it's clean. You don't have to do anything extra. It's got some little bit extra storage up here, standard mirrors, nothing crazy. We'll go into the back seat separately, but to start, cloth interior, it's base level stuff. It's nothing crazy, but you have the things that you need: four-wheel drive controls, some storage in the side. It's just a little nice wood trim, makes it feel a little bit fancier. Now let's jump into the Tundra, and we'll do a little more in-depth comparison here. So let's leave that door open, let it cool off a little bit because it is steaming today. Now opening up the Tundra, a little more basic on the side, a little more plasticky feeling, but it does still have soft touch everywhere. Now big difference, I didn't mention, this does not have power seats. The GMC does. It has all the directional power seat adjustments. So it has the same similar like controls here. Single zone climate control. This has more of a glossy finish on everything. So you start to see dust and fingerprints and maybe even scratches there. You do kind of need to use a dry, what do you call them? Microfiber cloth to wipe these down to remove smudges. I don't know if you can really see that, but there's little marks. They go away easy, but you gotta take a minute and be consciously clean this versus just wipe it off like you can the Sierra. But bigger screen is nice. This is a 1 year older truck. This is a 2022. It's 21, but basically the same place. So coming over in the door, you have, I think, a little bit more storage. You have an extra pocket here. I don't think it's really a game changer. Same type of storage at the bottom. They both have basic sound systems. So this is going to come down to, on this interior setup, they're going to have the same type of information here and here. They do basically the same thing. The tech-wise, you're going to be hard-pressed to figure out one thing that this does that doesn't do, and vice versa. Like, it's really kind of, that's going to be real nitpicky if that's what you're looking for. So, yeah, it'll come down to whether you like the shiny, where you need to wipe it down, versus just the matte, easy clean, or you want the bigger screen. I prefer the Sierra, where you can just use your hand and get the dust off and it's clean. Super cool. Now this looks nicer. This 100% looks more high end, but I do that, then you need to use a cloth and clean it. So anyways, that's my opinion on the center deal. So let's go back over to the Sierra. Let's hop in the back seat. Let's move back a little bit more and see what the difference is there. Up out of here. Oh man. Alright, park these trucks nice and close. So same thing, keyless entry in the back. You get the same wood grain here. This Sierra, I am about 6'3", seats all the way back pretty much. Well, maybe go a little bit further back. Tons of room. Little storage pocket here, some air vents. Just, same old cup holders here. If you move this out of the way, you got more cup holders here. Now this does have rear seat storage, which is awesome. I use that all the time, and it's secure. You can put valuables in there, and if someone breaks into your car at that point, you're going to lose it. But it is one more place that if you tuck this little handle in, they're not going to know to maybe pull that out, which is a solid benefit. So great little hidden bonus there. This one does have a center seat under here. I didn't mention that, but you don't have a center console at 100%. Rather have a center console. I don't ever want someone to sit in there anyways. So they don't have an airbag. That would just make me feel terrible. Got some lights here. This does not have a window in the back, which we'll talk about. The Tundra. It has something super cool there. And yeah, let's go back over the Tundra. We'll see which one is better in the back here. Oh, wrong side. Too much stuff. You have to accumulate the things, have as much as humanly possible. A little dirty here, that's okay. So, nice grab handle here, and some aftermarket handles. Let's shut this door. Same type of storage. I think you have a bit more here, just like the front seat. You've got more storage. Tons of room back here. Same thing, so much room. You have some vents here, a little bit of a different angle. No charging points in the Tundra, but you do have cup holders up here. Nothing back here for extra cup holders, but you've got them there, which counts just as much as an extension coming back. You've got some lights up here, a little further back. You can control them back here. Unlike the Sierra, I don't think you can. But you don't have storage here. You have one here, which it's the craziest thing. This is not a power seat. It's basically the same exact seat as this one. But this one's got, I don't know. I don't know what Toyota's thinking. That doesn't make sense. Come on, what are you doing? Anyways, give us the thing. So this rear window slides all the way down, which is super cool. You have basically so much airflow coming through here. I think every truck should have this, but I guess it's a Toyota thing. That's awesome. So if I was going to pick the back class alone, I'd pick this. But as far as rear seats go, this is very comfortable. But I like having the pockets in the back seat for storage, a little extra security in the Sierra. So the Tundra right now, what it has going for it, for me, is do you want turbo sounds? Do you want over V8 sounds? And then do you want speed? Now, if you don't care about miles per gallon and you want turbo sounds, Tundra is the way to go. And then if you like the fancier kind of center dash, center console, center shifter, that's going to come in most Toyotas. We're in an SR5 right now, so everything above this is only going to get nicer than this. If you get an SR work truck, I don't know what it comes with, but it probably comes with something really similar to this. Okay, so we've covered that. We've covered the front, the speed, miles per gallon, all that type of stuff. We're now in the back seat. Let's go into the beds and the rear end and talk about some of the final details, and we'll go back to the truck and we'll give some final opinions. Now, the bed's going to be pretty quick, I think, so there's not that much to talk about. Let's go. Shut this. Man, it is bright out here today. Let's see. Come back around to the bed. This one did come bedline from the factory, the GMC. It does have some lights right here that are super helpful. These are really bright. Plenty of tie-down points throughout the whole bed. There's not much else to really talk about on there. The Toyota comes with like this hard plastic liner. Now this is really slippery. Your stuff's gonna slide around, but it comes with a couple neat things. You have this Toyota track rack system, which is neat. If you get the mounting points, this is really versatile. You can have a lot of different things mounted in here with rails and different types of options, but this does limit your aftermarket options because this rail is right where something would clamp down like it would here. If you have like a bed rail system, it's going to go underneath here that you need this gap. So you have to have specific Toyota purchased and built items for this. So there's no lights back here, but you do have tie-down points. It's hard plastic, so I mean, I'd rather have bed liner back here where that's going to grip, but this did not come with the truck. It was like an option, so I don't know that really counts, but just to know that this is how this comes. And I don't think you can just spray bed liner over this and have it there. So take a step back. Standard tailgate. This one has the multi-pro tailgate. If you want to see more information about this, I'll put a link to my other more Sierra in-depth review down below on how this all works, but this is more functional. So overall, the bed, GMC, I think is more versatile unless you're specifically going for this Toyota branded accessory system, depending on what you want to do with your bed. But for general truck use, I would go for this between the lighting, bed liner, and just tailgate use and everything like that. So taking a step back further, this has a color match bumper. This just has the white on the sides and then standard black. I would say, the exhaust comes out through the bumper. I think is a little bit cleaner. This has just got a standard exhaust pipe out the side. If you go one trim level up, you do get the color match bumper, and it looks almost identical to this. So if you go one step up, they're the same. So this does have a bed step here on the side, but that's negated by the multi-pro tailgate. So I'm going to still stick with GMC on this one between the two. So as you can tell, I'm a little bit biased towards the GMC at the current moment, and I think that's okay. But it comes down to what you want. Do you want speed, or do you want the old school V8? And I'm not against the V6s. I would go get an F-150 with a 2.7 today. Not a problem. But if we're just comparing apples to apples, this V8 is just more efficient than this V6. It's just the way that it is. If this V6 was getting 23 miles per gallon, I would have probably a little bit different opinion on it. Maybe a little bit different tone. So for the time being, and also with the given warranty issues, which I have videos on as well, go check it out with this motor grenading and all that type of fun stuff. I'm going to stick with the GMC. If I was going to pick a new truck out today, I'd probably do the new GMC or new Chevy, maybe the little 3-liter Duramax, but I'm pretty set with this. I've got about 100,000 miles on this one. I think this truck has got like 15,000 on it, just kind of getting broken in. So obviously by the title, this is my girlfriend's truck. This is my truck. Truck's about a year and a half old. This is 3 years old. So they both have had time with us, but I'm going to call GMC as the winner between the two of them if I was going to have to pick one. But if I was just going for beefy, turbo sounds, 35s, I'd pick the Tundra for just ruggedness and just general appearances. So, but like I said, I'm going to pick GMC as the overall winner. So leave a comment down below. Let me know if you think that this was a fair comparison, if there's information that I left out that you would have liked to have known about. But other than that, let's reconvene on the next video, and we'll see what we do next with these, because there's definitely more upgrades coming for both. Anyways, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.